Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa. Welcome back to my channel and thank you guys all for tuning in again. So you guys, today's video is going to be all about whether you should quit your job. But just because this reading is attached to people's livelihoods and just how you put a roof over your head, how you feed yourself, I just want to say my videos are for entertainment, okay? You should see me as a friend who is giving you honest advice, who is reading these cards for you, who is doing the psychic reading for you. But at the end of the day, you know your situation best, and I want you to make the best decision for you. So I just want to put that out there. So yeah, I have 4 groups for you to choose from, so I want you to pick one of the 4 groups intuitively. Just let your intuition guide you. If you need a second just to meditate on the cards, feel free to pause the video in order to do that. And I also just want to let you know that your personal reading may be a mixture between 2 groups. So if that happens, feel free to tune into 2 readings. So yeah, if this is the first time that you're on my channel, do not forget to subscribe before you leave. And also, if you found this video helpful and insightful, do not forget to give it a big ol' thumbs up. So yeah, you guys, I don't want to waste any time. Let's get straight into the readings. Hi guys, and welcome to today's reading on whether you should quit your job. So we have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, and group number 4. So I'd like you to pick one of the 4 groups intuitively. If you need a minute just to meditate on the cards, feel free to pause this video right here and right now in order to do that. Otherwise, I will get straight into the readings with group number 1. Alright, group number 1, let's see what the universe is trying to tell you. Okay, so first off we have the citrine. So I see in the citrine that you may have been having a lot of unnecessary worries. So in correlation with your job, maybe it has been causing you a lot more worries than you can really handle or than is truly necessary. So I see that there is a lot of worry around here, a lot of worry around the question on whether you should quit or not. But I see that the universe is trying to tell you that those worries are not necessary. Then we have the fluorite. So I see that it's important for you to be yourself in this situation, to be yourself when you ask yourself this question, because the universe has naturally created you to be attractive and lovable inside and out. So I know that you may be sort of worried about taking the path that you truly want because you feel like maybe it's not the right path for you, but I see that being authentic is really at the root of this question. So be authentic with yourself and your needs. Be very honest with yourself. Can you continue living the way you've been living? If you can, then, maybe you should not quit your job. If you don't see yourself living this life much longer, then what is the choice really other than quitting your job? You don't want to just be here on this earth not living the life that you feel you want or you truly deserve. Then we have the moonstone. So I see that it's important for you to heighten your intuition. So there are different ways that you can heighten your intuition. One of it is, first of all, to just listen to your intuition. Make sure that you truly know, what intuition is to you, what that little voice is, what that feeling is that draws you in different directions, and try to start listening to it. Try to start being aware of inner knowings, and also know that it is trustworthy. Know that your intuition is the one thing that you can trust and the one thing that definitely just always wants the best for you. So that is what I see in the moonstone. Then we have the yellow jasper. So in the yellow jasper, I can see very clearly that there are a lot of things about your current job that is sort of bugging you, okay? You feel like you're having control issues, as in that this job is totally controlling you. You feel like you can't be as creative as you would like to be, and maybe you feel like somebody is constantly watching over your shoulder. Maybe you also feel controlled, in the finances. Maybe you just feel like you need to quit this job because somebody is telling you what you're worth, somebody is telling you how much you're supposed to make, and you just don't agree with that. And you know what? I don't agree with that either. I feel like you should be able to have a say in how much your work is really worth. So I see that there are some control issues either with you or on your job side, and it's really hurting you. It's really weighing very heavily on your heart. Then we have illusion. So in illusion, I see that it ties in really nicely with the fluorite. I see that it's important for you to be authentic. I see that it's important for you to embrace the truth, because that is what the illusion card is all about. I feel like you've been living a life that you know is not truthful to who you truly are. I feel like you know that there are things about your job that is just not real, you know. Either you're maybe in an industry that you find very superficial, that just isn't you, or you just feel like your job itself is not truly you and is not truly authentic, or maybe you just feel like you're capable of so much more and your job is just not really bringing that out of you. So I feel like it's very important for you to be very open and honest with yourself and embrace the truth. So in this case, I see that once you embrace the truth, if you feel like your job is not really you, is not really authentic, I see that you should be moving forward, looking for a different job, looking into being self-employed, whatever it is that you want to do. You know, follow your intuition. Your intuition is here to guide you. And also I see that you will have a lot of unnecessary worries, but you have clicked into this reading for a reason. So don't let those unnecessary worries get the better of you. Be sure to just be authentic and follow your intuition, as I see that it's important for you to break the illusions in your life. You know, you need to be authentic and you need to be yourself to truly be happy and be at a point that you want to be in life. Then last but not least, we have the dragonfly. So the dragonfly is here to tell you to live life to the fullest. So even though you're sort of in a difficult situation, or you're in a situation where you sort of feel uncomfortable, you don't know what to do about your job, and that is why you're consulting with the universe, that is why you're consulting with this reading. And I want you to know that even though you may not know what to do right now, or how to start, or where to go, you know what I mean? Like, even though you may not know the exact next step, it is important for you to still embrace life and live life to the fullest. You know, a job is just that, a job. The most important thing is how you are on an emotional level, how your health is, and just, you know, how you live life. And I don't want to sound sort of really dark or anything, but tomorrow isn't promised for anyone, and I want you to live life to the fullest and to make sure that you don't let these unnecessary worries take total control of your life and, you know, your destiny. Make sure that you still live life and that you send out those vibes to the universe that you are somebody who is happy, who is joyful, and who is grateful for life. So those are the messages I get in regards to you and whether you should quit your job or not. Okay, group number 2. Let's see what the universe has to say about you and whether you should quit your job or not. Okay, so first off we have the Malachite. So I see a lot of prosperity coming your way. I see that soon you will make a positive shift in your life, a positive shift in your flow of divine support. I see that all of a sudden things are going to slowly start to get easier. So just think about it as like, you know, sort of you're a fish in the river. So right now I see that you're swimming against the stream, but I see that things are going to go, you know, with you following the stream, with you just letting the stream carry you. I know this sounds really weird, but that is what I see coming up in your life fairly soon in regards to your job situation. Then we have the Ametrine. So I see that one thing that you need in your life that you may have been lacking recently, I see that that is, you know, balancing feminine and masculine energy. So it's very important for you to keep things in balance, as if you have too much feminine energy, you are going to be, you know, overly creative kind of, and that it's great to be inspired on a creative level, but too much feminine energy can be a little bit too dreamy. It can be not very, you know, go-getter energy. Where if you have too much masculine energy, you can be overly confident, you can be overly cocky and just too quick to try and go out there and get things. So make sure that these two energies are in balance, as I see that if they're out of balance, you're going to make the wrong decision on whether you should quit your job or continue your job. So in order to make that decision, it's important for you to first balance your energy. Then we have the Topaz. So I see that it's important for you to forgive yourself. So I feel like in correlation with your job, there's a lot of sort of hurt feelings and a lot of, you know, emotions that are stemming from a place of a lot of hurt and a lot of confusion. So I see that you may be sort of angry at yourself, that you've even let yourself come to this point where you're asking yourself, you know, should I quit my job? Should I not quit my job? I see that you're someone who can get very invested. You know, maybe you've gotten very invested in your current job or just whatever it is that you're currently doing, and it's really hard for you now to decide on whether to stay or whether to let go. And it's important for you to forgive yourself, as you know, if you're still angry at yourself, if you're still blocking happiness and positive decisions, if you're blocking that out because you haven't forgiven yourself, then, you know, it's going to be hard for you to make the right decision, because you're going to make the decision based on negative emotions. You're going to make the decision based on, oh, like, I've invested so much, I'm so angry at myself that I've put so much time into my current situation, like, I don't really want to change now, I've already invested all of this. And it's important for you to know that life is sometimes a journey where you just need to cut your losses and move on. So I want you to forgive yourself for any decisions that you're not proud of, for any decisions that you feel like that they were a mistake. You know, life is not perfect, humans aren't perfect, we all make mistakes. So don't be so hard on yourself, and make sure that you first clear yourself of any imbalances and any sort of anger that you have towards yourself. So that is what I see you needing to do before you make a decision on whether you should quit your job or not. Then we have the Jade. So I see wellness is at the center of, you know, this question, and I feel like there's a reason why you chose this reading, and I feel like it's important for you to first recover your health and wellness. So I feel like maybe you've sort of been neglecting your health, your physical health, your mental health, just your overall wellness. I feel like you have maybe been partying way too much, or maybe you've been stressing out way too much about what you should do regarding your job. And I see that it's important for you, once again, you know, focus on yourself, focus on balancing energy, focus on forgiving yourself. And then we have wellness, you know, so it's very clear that you need to be focusing on yourself first right now. I see that you have issues with yourself internally that you just need to solve before you can make the best decision for you. Because if you're just sort of all over the place and in turmoil and you're not thinking clearly, the decision that you might make, and this is a very important decision, might not come out in your favor. So make sure that you know that it's important for you to work on yourself, and then you will be able to invite prosperity into your life. Then we have the Dove. So I see that it's very important for you that once you've cleared sort of any confusing energy that you have, any issues that you have with yourself, it's very important for you to take the leap of faith. So the Dove is here to signalize that, you know, things are going to go well, things are going to go in a very peaceful manner, in a manner that is positive for your life, but you need to take a leap of faith. And you know how people always want to do things when they're ready, but life isn't about being ready. Sometimes you just need to take the leap of faith before you're ready, but that doesn't mean that you need to make the decision on your job right now. Like, it's very important for you to clear things up with yourself on an emotional level and then take your leap of faith, because we will never feel 100% ready to quit our jobs. It is always a scary thing, but it's important that when you have come to a point where you feel like you're clear-headed, that you can take that leap of faith and not look back. Then we have new beginnings. So this just ties in perfectly with the leap of faith. So it's like the universe is telling you that once you have sorted out what is going on with you internally and on an emotional level, you will have new beginnings. You will be able to begin your new life in a very prosperous manner, okay? I see that once you have sorted things out internally, everything will become crystal clear, and as soon as you take that leap of faith, you're going to have these new beginnings, and you're not going to miss anything of your old life. I don't see anything holding you back here. I see that you need to go in a new direction, in a direction that you want to go into, as soon as you've figured out what it is that you truly want, you know? So I see a lot of work on yourself first before you can make this decision, but I see that it is just going to come to you like that, and when it comes to you on a very intuitive level, just take the leap of faith. So that is what I see in regards to whether you should quit your job or not. Okay, group number 3. Let's see what the universe has to say on whether you should quit your job or not. Okay, so first off, we have the Apophilite. So I see that it's important for you to focus on increased support. So I see that it's very important for you to focus on getting support from the people who are close to you, around you, as they will help you to determine whether you should quit your job or, you know, continue where you are right now. I see that it can open a lot of possibilities and a lot of different doorways to newly found abundance. So I feel like this means that you should be asking around. You know, maybe somebody knows a company that needs someone in a new position. Maybe somebody knows how to create a website and you've always wanted to have your own online store or your own online services, and they can help you, start that path to being independent, start that path to being your own boss. So I see that it's important for you to look around and see who can support you, who can help you to make this decision, not only emotionally, but also, who is able to do something that would help you make this decision on whether you should quit your job or not. Because sometimes the answer does not just lie within. Sometimes you need to look around you and see what possibilities are around and see what people you can collaborate with and work with in order for you to really make the right decision. Then we have the diamond. So I see that it's very important for you to value yourself. I feel like maybe recently you haven't been truly valuing yourself the way that you know that you should, or the way that would be healthiest for you. So it's very important for you to know your self-worth and know that you're the universe's precious gem, okay? The universe has created you for a reason. You are here, your soul is here on this earth in order to do good. It is here for a reason, and it's very important for you to know your value, especially when it comes to your job. So if you feel like this job is not really, not really valuing you as a person, you as an individual and what you're capable of doing, then maybe it's time to leave this job. If you feel like your self-worth, your self-value is sort of suffering because of the job that you're in, then I think it is time for you to leave, because your self-worth is so important for relationships that you have with people, platonic relationships, sexual relationships. If you don't have that sense of self-worth, it is not only going to make your job miserable, it's also going to make your personal life miserable. So make sure that anything that is prohibiting you from having a healthy sense of self-worth, make sure that you get rid of that, as I see that that is only letting low vibrations and negativity into your life. Then we have the Sugilite. So I see that it's very important for you to make sure that you are releasing any sort of codependent, people-pleasing ways. So it's very important for you now to be assertive and empower yourself. And it goes really well with the diamond, value your self-worth, empower yourself. So if quitting your current job is going to empower you, as that is what I see that the universe is sort of hinting at. So if that is going to empower you, maybe it's time to let go. Maybe it's time to look elsewhere for something that will really make you feel good about yourself, and whether that's being self-employed, whether that's finally working for a company that you truly like, it's very important for you to know that you are not like codependent with your work, okay? You should not be in a codependent situation. I mean, of course your work gives you financial stability, but you need to make sure that it is not an unhealthy sort of codependency where you feel like you're dumbing yourself down or you're sort of decreasing your self-worth just to, have this job. So don't be in that situation. If you feel like you are, then it is definitely time for you to leave and look elsewhere. Then we have the turquoise. So I see that what would really help you with this whole job situation is to really become clearer of, your spiritual path, to really know what is important to you on a spiritual level. Who are you on a spiritual level? So I see that a lot of spiritual sort of self-discovery is going to help with this. Even just these card readings. Whenever you tune into one of the card readings, you are going to, think on a deeper level. You are reflecting on your life, on your actions, on where you are right now, and that is spiritual growth. So make sure that you do focus on spiritual growth. Make sure that you become very clear on what it is that is important to you, and then use that knowledge, use you knowing what you want in life in order to make necessary life changes, as I see that life changes are really important right now and are necessary. So make sure that you really figure out what it is that you want. Then we have the Battle of the Blues. So I see that you may have been feeling a little bit depressed lately about your job, that you may have sort of been feeling a little bit down. And I don't mean depression necessarily in a way that you're suffering from depression, but anyone can be depressed. You don't need to be suffering from depression in order to feel depressed sometimes. It's a normal emotion that anyone can feel. Of course, some of us have the feeling on a way, way, way deeper level than others, But yeah, just feeling depressed is something that can happen to all of us, and sometimes it can linger on for a lot longer, and sometimes it's just fleeting. So I want you to be very careful that if you've been feeling a little bit depressed recently about your job situation, make sure that you take steps towards positive change. As you know, when you let depression just be there for too long, if you're just on this low vibration for too long, it may become a habit which can turn into a larger issue in your life. So make sure that you try and constantly take steps towards positive change. Even if the steps are tiny, make sure that you keep encouraging yourself. Then we have gratitude. So I see that it's very important for you in this sort of moment where you may feel like life is a little bit bleak or a little bit more confusing and difficult than you would like it to be. So if you feel like you're sort of drowning in emotions, if you're, battling your blues, make sure that you still look around and be grateful for everything that you have. Be grateful for the loved ones that you have in your life. Be grateful for the opportunities that you have. Be grateful that you're able to tune into this reading and really hear some words of encouragement. Just be grateful for anything and everything that gives you a little bit of positivity, because that sort of attitude will have you vibrating on a way higher, more positive frequency, which will attract a lot more support into your life, and that will help increase your self-worth, as well as you just following your spiritual path to where you are clear of what it is that you want. So make sure that you do not let any sort of depressive emotion get the better of you. So that is what I see for you in regards to whether you should quit your job or not. Alright, group number 4. Let's see what the universe has to say on whether you should quit your job or not. Okay, first off we have the Dolomite. So I see that it's very important for you to stay strong in your faith, for you to keep a very positive mindset, as in this situation of turmoil where you're not really sure whether you should quit your job or not. I want you to know that any positive outcomes depend on whether you're keeping a positive mindset. So make sure that you keep faith and you keep your positivity. I see that it's very important for you to stay very strong on a positive level, for you to not give up or lose faith. As obviously when you're strong, when you're positive, that is what you're going to attract back into your life. So make sure that you put out positive vibes in order to attract more positivity into your life. So then we have the watermelon tourmaline. So I see that it's very important for you to practice some stress reduction. I feel like maybe recently your mind, your body, your spirit has been suffering under the sort of pressures that you have in your job. Maybe it's just on an emotional level where you feel like you're super stressed out, but maybe it's also physically. You feel like you've sort of gotten right back into work after the whole New Year's and Christmas break. You're sort of already worn out. You feel like you just started, but you're already worn out. You feel like just at the end of the year again. So if you feel that way, it's very important for you to rest and recharge, and to make sure that you free up your schedule in order to really think about this job and whether it's fulfilling you on an emotional and just on a spiritual level the way you need it to. So make sure that you take time to recuperate, and also just think to yourself whether what you're doing is really in alignment with your life and where you want your life to go or not. And like I said, don't say yes to everything. If somebody wants to hang out with you, if somebody wants to go out with you, do things, sometimes just say no, because it's important for you to recharge and take time to think about whether you're thinking of quitting your job because you're just saying yes to your job and everything else, or is it really something deeper that's the issue here. Then we have the sodalite. So I see that it's very important for you to sort of join into any sort of social things that are going on in your work environment. So I see that maybe you have been isolating yourself a little bit. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit awkward whenever there is a social gathering or some sort of social event at your work. And I see that it's important for you to socialize in order to really figure out whether this is the right thing for you or not. Because if you work in an environment with people who do not resonate with your values and just your outlook on life, ultimately you are working for somebody who does not support you or who you do not feel supported by. And that can be a very toxic sort of environment. So I want you to really look around and socialize with the people at your work in order for you to find out whether this is really what you want to do, whether this really resonates with you as a person, because chances are, if your work does not resonate with you on an energetic level, on a spiritual level, that it can be very draining to remain where you are and to remain working for a corporation or just people who do not resonate with you as a person as you're trying to fit in. You know, you're putting on a mask in order to do this job. You're not being authentic with yourself. Make sure that you look out for any signs of you being inauthentic by working where you work. Then we have the Kyanite. So I see that it's very important for you to take time for yourself right now, you know, in correlation with stress reduction. I see that just taking time for yourself and to really reflect on sort of the environment that you're putting yourself in every day at work or every other day, depending how much you do work. It's very essential for you to take time for self-care and to not always put your work first. So you're probably somebody very hardworking. That's the vibe I'm getting from your reading. And sometimes you can forget about yourself and you can forget about making time to, you know, take that bath, have that nice meal, cook yourself something healthy, watch your favorite TV show. Sometimes you can, you know, forget to just switch off and just be just with yourself, recharging. So I want you to regain that sense of, yes, you know, I'm allowed to have time to myself. I'm going to give myself this time to recharge and just relax. Then we have memories. So I see that it's very important for you at this time to cherish the memories of your loved ones. You know, maybe you have somebody who has passed away. It doesn't need to be a person. It can be a pet. It can be just any living creature that was close to you. And I see that it's very important for you to consult and confide in them at this point. So if you're not sure on whether to quit your job or not, you should really cherish the memories of whoever has passed. And you should really, truly ask yourself, would this person be proud for me to continue this path? Would this person want me to continue this job? You know, am I just bitching and moaning because the job is stressful but actually it's good for me? Or am I bitching and moaning because this job is really just not for me? So really consult in the spirits of whoever has passed, as I see that this person that really loves you would have the best answer to you. And if you feel like you do not want to confide in somebody who has already passed, if you feel like you don't want to think to yourself, what will my grandma say? What will my aunt say? Or whoever that may be. If you don't feel like asking that person, just think to yourself, you know, what would my mom do in this situation? What would my dad say in this situation? So make sure that you confide in others and that you also are open to using memories, you know, people who have passed, who have inspired you, who you know love and cherish you. Be sure to consult in what you think they would tell you to do. Then we have dreams. So I see that it's very important for you at this time to believe in your dreams, because I see that if you tend to want to go off on your own, you know, start your own business or just change jobs, it's very important for you to believe in your dreams and to make sure that you remain very positive. Being positive will attract more positivity, and sometimes it can be really a lot easier to just tell yourself, oh, you know, I'm just dreaming way too big, or that's not gonna happen for me. I'm meant to just do this job at McDonald's or this job in this corporate world. And you know, that is not true. If you dream otherwise, you can achieve otherwise. And I want you to remember that, and I want you to use this reading as sort of like a source of encouragement. If you can dream it, you can do it. Just think of people who have accomplished things that people said they never could. You know, how many people are there out there who have, for instance, learned to walk again? How many people are out there who have recovered from, you know, really horrible domestic violence, etc., even though people were telling them, oh, you'll never be able to walk again, or their partner was telling them, oh, you're not good enough, you're never gonna find anyone better than me. So make sure that you follow your dreams, you know, just as other people have done in other areas of life, and make sure that you don't give up, make sure that you keep your faith.